guys, so I am back with another video. This is going to be kind of a long update, so let's go ahead and get into it. So literally right after I got done posting my last video, which was the baby food pouches, we had a pipe burst in our apartment. So then we had to go stay in temporary housing for 2 weeks. And so that happened on Christmas Eve, and that just kind of threw me off my rocker a little bit. I was potty training my daughter, and then I kind of stopped when we went to go live at the other apartment while our apartment was being fixed. So now I'm trying to get back into it. So during that time, because that was like around December, I've really just been on a journey of like, okay, what is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that interests me? I've been trying a lot of different things, honestly, just to see what it is that I like, because what I thought I was going to do with my career is not what I'm going to do, basically. So just trying to navigate that and figure out, okay, how can I shift? How can I pivot? What are the next steps? And also what is going to be a career that's going to provide a great life for my family? Because essentially I want my kids and me and my husband, I want us to have just a great life and, be able to do things. Okay, so I was doing some brainstorming, and I'm like, I know that I am interested in like women's health. I'm interested in like mom advice, women advice. Like I love sharing tips and tricks like with my friends about the things that I've learned, or like sharing products, or even with my sisters, we love to share like products and things back and forth with each other. So I was like, I know that I love birth. I'm always watching birthing videos. I'm always sending my husband birthing videos. When I was pregnant both times, I was looking up tons of birthing videos, looking up what were the best practices, all that. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll be a doula. Because I was like, oh, I don't want to go back to school. And I know like to be like a doctor or somebody that delivers babies, you have to go back to school for a long time. And I'm like, I am almost 30. I've gone for my bachelor's degree. I went for my master's. That didn't work out. Did insurance for a little bit. So I'm like, I don't want to go back to school. So let me see what I can find that I like. So like I said, I like birth. I also like talking about breastfeeding. So I was like, okay, I'll be a lactation consultant. So I started looking at jobs in the area, and all of the jobs, majority of the jobs, they want you to have a nursing degree. Besides the doula, you don't have to have a nursing degree to be a doula. And so I was like, I don't want to go back to school. So what I did was I reached out to a few of the doulas on LinkedIn at the hospital where I gave birth. We had a doula with our first child, but not with our second child. So like I said, I reached out to a doula. We hit it off. I reached out to a few of them, but this one in particular, we hit it off. We actually took our conversations offline to texting. Hopefully we can FaceTime here soon, but she's also in school to become a OBGYN. So her schedule is also busy because she also has a son, and, we have our different lives or whatever, but she was just super helpful, gave me tons of information, and I asked all the questions, and she was, like I said, just super helpful. So I began looking up where could I take doula training classes, and I was able to get qualify for one scholarship, so I was able to get that. But we had a few other events coming up that I had to attend, so I didn't end up signing up. And also during this time, I was talking with my husband, and he was like, I don't think you should do it. He was like, you already work full time. And then also at that time, I was still getting up with my son probably about every 4 hours. And he was like, I just feel like that's a lot. So I was like, okay, maybe I won't do that because that is a lot on my plate. So again, I'm just kind of pondering the going back to school thing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go back to school. I'm just gonna have to go back to school, get a nursing degree, which I would never thought would have come out of my mouth, but it's like, that's what I'm gonna have to do to better my future and to get the jobs that I want. Like, you have to get out of your own way. If this is what you wanna do, take the steps that you need to do to get there. So I began looking at colleges, and the first one that I liked was WGU. Now, I already looked at WGU when I wanted to go and get an MBA, but I ended up not doing the MBA route because shortly after I found out I was pregnant with my son. So I was like, that's too many changes. But I saw that they had a nursing program, and it was completely online, self-paced. I think altogether the tuition was $28,000 compared to the other schools that I looked at. I currently work at a hospital, and we partner with a university, and their tuition is $80,000. And I'm like, there is no way I'm doing that again. You know, I need something that is manageable. And so I decided to start applying for WGU. So I spoke with an enrollment counselor, and she told me I needed to take the HESI. So I studied for the HESI, took it. I got an 89.5. I know I could have did better, but I know I could have done better, but you know, there was distractions in the other room because my family was home. And also I didn't know that the test was cumulative. So on the math, which was my first one, I didn't realize, I thought I was going to get locked out. And so towards the end, I just started guessing stuff because I'm like, at least I have a 25% chance. So I did that. It was really hard because I have never had to sit through a test. I think it was 3 or 4 hours that I sit and do that test. So I did that. And then I found these 2 resources called Sailor.org or Sailor.com and Study.com, where they allow you to take courses online for like a few $100, and WGU accepts those. So I started to, you know, make a spreadsheet of all the courses I could do there, you know, because I'd rather get the free courses done and then get the courses that were only a couple $100 done first, and then I could transfer those to WGU. So also during that time, like I said, I studied for the HESI, took the HESI. Then I started working on my nurse admission application. So I gave myself a month, and that was also hard as well. Gave myself a month. Shout out to my godmom because she helped me edit it. So I got that and I turned it in. And then I was beginning to work on the courses from like, was it Sailor? Yeah, Sailor.org. I think that's what it was. Then I had we were just having like a powwow with one of the nurse managers. And so I told her, you know, hey, you know, I'm thinking about going back to school. She was like, what are you going back for? I'm like, nursing. And so she was like, oh, I could really see you doing that. She was like, I could see you doing lactation consulting. And I was like, that's actually one of the things that I was interested in, you know, that and labor and delivery. I know that labor and delivery is a specialty and it's kind of hard to get into, but I'm believing for complete favor. So she was like, well, I think our job will pay for it. And I'm like, oh, I said, well, I know that we have, you know, tuition assistance. She was like, no, like they will pay for your ASN. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, can I still get hired with the ASN? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I would hire you with the ASN or LPN. So she connected me with one of the liaisons. And so they were telling me about the program and how you have to take your gen eds first. We pay for the gen eds first, meaning the student, and then you have to interview and apply for the nurse apprenticeship program. And with that, you have your classes, and then you work as a PCT on one of the units. It can't be a specialty unit. It has to be like a progressive care unit. So the college that they partner with is Ivy Tech. It's a community college, and I looked on there. I saw how much the tuition was. It was like $2,000 a semester, and I think that would probably equal out to about like $10,000, I think, in total. And so I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, this is actually cheaper. But the classes, majority of the classes were not online, or at least the classes that I would have to take, which ended up being the sciences like the anatomy, psychology, quantitative reasoning. I'm like, I need to take those in person because, yeah, I'm not a math or a science girl. Well, you know, no, let me rephrase that because I gotta stop saying that. I just haven't found the route that works best for me concerning those subjects. So I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So one of the requirements though for Ivy Tech is that you have to take the ATITs test because they don't take the HESI. And I'm like, oh man, so now I gotta study for a different test. But what I think my plan is going to be is go ahead and get the ASN, this is the recommendation that the nurse manager gave me. She said, go ahead and go for your ASN. Then when you come out, study for your NCLEX, get your RN license. And then she said, then get hired on a hospital and then have the hospital pay for your bachelor's degree. So that being said, my application at WGU is good for 5 years. So after I get my ASN and make that transition on to get my bachelor's degree, I can use my same application. So guys, that is where I've been. Like I said, I've had a lot of things going on, making major career shifts, networking, and just trying to figure out where all the pieces fit because I will probably have to leave my current position so that way I can study and, you know, put my best foot forward because I don't want to waste my time in school and then have to end up retaking the course because I can't focus because I have so many things on my plate. So like I said, that's where I've been. I've also started running or jogging in the afternoons with my children. My youngest sister, she actually inspired me. Hey, Ro. She inspired me to get out there and get running. So I went to go get some shoes and, you know, I've just been like, no more excuses. I'm going to pack my kids up and we're going to go running. I have a double stroller for my kids. And when it was cold, well, it's cold today. Indiana is so weird. The weather just changes just like that. But I packed them up. I put on their socks, their gloves, their boots, their hats. And then I also have this rain shield that I got from Amazon that fits over my double stroller. And I put their blanket in there and then I just run with them of course, on the days that it's hot, you know, I may pack them a snack and something to drink and, you know, I go running because I'm trying to invest back into myself. Like I can't have any more excuses. So, like I said, guys, I have been so busy, but I'm super excited for this new venture. I know that this is going to be a career shift and I may have to work my way back up the ranks again. But the way that I see it is this is a minor setback for a major comeback. And I'm so excited for the process. So I will have some more videos for you guys later. But until then, I hope you guys have a great day. If you are an RN nursing student, PCT, or if you've made a career shift of any sort, or if you're a jogger, whatever you are, leave any advice in the comment section below. Okay, so one more thing I forgot is I'm gonna do a quick lock update. So I believe I am 7 months locked. I got locked in August 2022, about 2 months after I had my son, but this is the front. I just got retwisted on the 5th, April 5th. So this is the front, and then I'll kind of scoot back so you guys can see the back. Okay, and that is my lock update. The ones in the back are starting to lock more. I'm hoping the ones in the front will lock a little bit faster, but it seems to be taking its sweet time. But yeah, that's my lock update. Kind of get up close. So, all right guys, that is the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.